Check my teeth.
Hello, Elisha Medlin here with 5 Elements of Wholeness. And I am so excited to have you here on our Mastermind class with Amanda Helm. Amanda is a transformational business and presenting coach, personal mentor, and life educator. She formally started her business 5 years ago, although she's been coaching, presenting, training, and mentoring throughout her life. When you step into her classroom, you will experience honesty, high levels of respect, honor, care, new perspectives, deeper understanding, practical application, and above all else, a passion for magic, hope and possibilities. And I am a total witness to that. I just love this woman. She has just brought so much love and more knowledge and just a better understanding of the truth of who I am. And I just love her for stepping up and being in that arena with me. She is married to the man of her dreams, Jesse, and together they have 6 beautiful children. She is passionate about fishing, the mountains, quality family time, love, living a whole life full of divine connection and creation. So welcome, Amanda. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here, Alicia. Can we all just give Alicia some happy hands and some applause? And thank her for creating this juicy, bougie, yummy space for us to meet together and a mastermind. This is so fun. So thank you, Alicia, for creating this. And thank you for inviting me to be here. Thank you to everybody who's on. So the next round of applause, please give yourselves some hands here for creating time in your space, taking the action to get registered, and hearing the call to come and spend this beautiful space and time with us today. I'm so excited to share. And then let's just give one more little round of applause to technology, because I'm in Wyoming. What? So what a beautiful thing that Alicia is in Utah, I'm in Wyoming, all of you are in your beautiful spaces, and yet here we are connected and able to spend this time together. So super excited about that.
I forgot to introduce the topic that you're talking on today, but you are talking on expanding our capacity to be able to see what's in the way of us being able to reach our goals and our dreams faster. Is that right?
Yes. Right?
Yes.
So listen, I just got to tell you that I am just that kind of person. I like to go faster. I just upgraded. I just upgraded my blender, and it's pretty high tech, and I have the instruction book and everything. But so I grabbed like the quick guide, and I'm like, okay, I got all the pieces. But then guess what I did next? I'm like calling my brother to go, okay, what is this and what is that? And just give me the 411, because I just want to go, right? Now, there's value in the instruction book, but I just want to say right off the bat, there is tremendous value in your tribe. And I'm not the only coach out there who is coaching on transformation. In my group, powerful tribe of women and men, coaches and colleagues, Alicia, we've spent hours talking about this very thing. And so I'm so excited that you get to step into my space today to learn from me, but just know that there's so much available out there to you to learn. Once you understand what the real problem is, there are so many possibilities for you. So my intention for today, as a result of this conversation that we're going to have, is I want to help you see what the real problem is. Why aren't you getting what you want? What is the disconnect between you and this goal that you want, or this? Now, this goal can be increased income. It could be a business you're trying to create. It could be the next team members you're trying to add to your business. This could be greater connection. It could be even a relationship, like a marriage or a new job. There's so many things that we desire to experience, but we just aren't getting them. So why is that? And what I find is that so many times we are focused on the wrong problem. And that leads us down a whole path of distraction and a waste of resources. And speaking of liking to go fast, when we're focused on the wrong problem, it costs us so much time. So my intention today is that I'm going to give you my top 3 things that are going to help you with capacity and my number 1 tools in those 3 areas. And that's what I can do today. I just want you to know that there is so much more available. And I am super excited about what we're going to talk today because I brought it. I brought it to us today. So here we go. When I was 26 years old, now, I just want to say, Alicia, they can type in the chat any questions or comments, right?
Yes. So you're welcome to go in the comments, ask questions, and I will let Amanda know what you're asking, and we will answer those for you.
Love it. Any ahas that you're getting? And above all, my friend, I just want you, as a result of this class, to come away with one idea, one thing that you feel like you could take action on today. Just one thing. I'm going to share a lot with you. So I just give you permission right out the gates. All you have to think of and record is just the one thing that speaks to your heart today. When I was 26 years old, I took this job that I really had no business taking because, I mean, I was partially qualified, but I was a whole bunch not qualified. But I was in this beautiful space in my life where I didn't know the limits of my capacity, my ability to go and do. And I didn't, so I was like, well, let's just try it. I don't know. I'm a quick learner. I love people. And I ended up getting my degree in college just to get the degree. I studied what I love, but my degree has nothing to do with what I do now. I knew that people would be my life experience, that would be the common denominator that would lead me through my life. And so I started out on landscape construction, and then I went over to human resources for a resort. And then at 26, I was like, I'm ready for a relocation and the next space. And I want to expand my relationship ability to have relationships. So I need to go where those relationships could be. And so as I interviewed for this job, it was a management position in a manufacturing company, and it was in the IT department. What? And effectively, what I was doing was I was the membrane between the geek squad and the rest of the humans. And they don't always play well together in the same sandbox. The geeks just want their technology, which is beautiful and perfect, to just be beautiful and perfect. And then the rest of the company is like, what am I supposed to do with this? This isn't working. How do I do this? And so my job was to be in between there, that buffer zone, to communicate. Now, where I was absolutely qualified is in my human skills, because I got that all day long. I love people. I just thrive in that space. I'm a great communicator. I knew how to do that piece. What I did not have were the technology skills. And so that was the agreement. And I'll be honest, at 26 and still today, I love money. And money was a huge motivator. It was a really awesome income. And so I was like, woo, let's do this, baby. So I jumped right into this space. It was my first, not my first corporate position, but one that was this political. And boy, did I get an education quickly. And so so in the first year, can you imagine, like, my learning curve was like, it was so steep, which was fine because I love to learn. And I did. Pretty soon I was like picking things up and organizing things and like getting up to speed. And after a year though, I found myself in this space where I couldn't go faster. I just couldn't go faster. And it was one of those positions that I was paid for 40 hours, expected to work 50, and I put in 60. I was single, I could, and so I did. So what's interesting, I'm just gonna come back to this space right here. When we have something that we want, okay, and here we are here, and we're not getting it, the common equation that is told and touted and taught and repeated is, if you want it, if you want this, you have to want it enough. And if you want it enough, then that's going to reflect in how much you're doing. So in order for me to get this, then I've got to want it, I've got to do more, and that's going to get me my goal. Well, I'm here to tell you, I wanted it. Oh boy, did I want it. I wanted the next increases of job performance. I wanted to keep my job. I wanted to please my boss. I wanted to succeed. Boy, did I ever. That's why I was willing to put 60 hours in. So the doing was there. The doing was there. And yet I could not reach the next level of goals of increased production and more balance in my own life. And so money, connection, relationships, just even freedom to be able to enjoy the rest of my life I just couldn't get there. Now, I was keenly aware of this on the inside of me, and pretty soon within a year, what I felt on the inside started to manifest on the outside of me. And I directly reported to the CIO, and he started to tell me, hey, we thought you'd be able to speed up by now. Like, come on. And I'd just be like, oh, I am so swamped. I am flooded. Like, I don't know how to speed up. And I was so frustrated with myself, with a situation. And I'm not one to get discouraged until I have exhausted every possibility of what I know to do. And that's exactly where I was. And so pretty soon, others were starting to notice that I was at capacity, that I couldn't do more, that I couldn't run faster, work longer, work harder, want it more. So this equation wasn't working for me. And that's my ultimate question. That's such a yummy bonus tip right here. When you're hearing solutions, just want you to ask yourself after you test them, do some measuring and go, is that working for me? How's that working for me? This formula was not working for me. And so here I was. Then when things don't work, right, and we've exhausted every possibility and we're just still not getting our goal, what can then happen is we will start to respond or react like we would when we were kids. And when we are kids and our children now, when we don't understand what's going on around us and we just don't get it, we're like, and things are out of our control, our only way to cope and to try to gain some feeling of power back is to take it personally. It must be my fault. I must be broken. So here's some common things that I see in my clients, in the air around me with people, and this is my own personal experience too. I began to think, oh, I'm just not working hard enough, even though I was. Well, I just must not be smart enough. Maybe I'm not worthy of that goal. I must not be righteous enough. Maybe I'm just not a good enough person. Okay, well then maybe I'm dumb, lazy. I just don't want it enough. Pretty soon, instead of understanding what the real problem is this formula that's not working, what we begin to do is we start to judge our value. We begin to judge our value. Now, I call those value judgments, okay? We're judging our value. Those are value judgments, okay? Value judgments, when I begin to judge my value, I'm taking it personally. And when I do that to myself on the inside, telling myself I must not be enough, I must be broken, I must be dumb, smart, late, or dumb, lazy, incompetent, I have to work harder, I want to know that I must want this more. When I start to go into my value and judge that on the inside, then I begin to manifest or attract people on the outside of me who will do the same to me on the outside. And that's what this boss was doing. Honestly, I feel like he was a good person and he didn't mean to do it, but the messages that he kept telling me and the style of his management was, you're just not enough. You're not doing it right. You're not. And he would tell me this, you know, Amanda, the busiest people go to the busiest people to get stuff done. So he was in effect telling me that in this culture, and it's not just that company, it's around you and I all the time, right, my friend? Mm-hmm. Busyness is glorified. Is it not?
Well, busyness is like made to be a badge of honor. Like, look at me, I'm busy.
Yeah. Oh, and here's your trophy for martyrdom. Mm-hmm. So not only do you get a badge for busyness, but if you'll like lay down and let the bus run over a few times, you know, and you're bleeding, well, now you belong at our table. Oh, now you've
proven yourself.
You've proven yourself. Now you're worthy. And in the geek department, they'd be like, ooh, look at her shade. Look at the shade under her eyes. It's starting to get the right color. Okay, I think she can belong now. I'm like, oh. So raise your hands if you relate to this. In your life, are there situations where either your friends are glorifying it, your boss is glorifying it, maybe your spouse or you yourself go, we're trying to prove our value by our level of busyness, our level of self-sacrifice. And those are wanting, we're measuring ourselves, judging our value based on how bad do you really want it and how much are you doing? Just how busy are you? But yet, the end result is we are not getting what we want. This is not happening. So what, in that absence then, again, what can happen is that we begin to think, we internalize it and we take it personal and we go after our value. And so do other people. And then we can even start to go, well, this is the one that really gets me. I'm like, oh, don't do that. I used to go, me in the past would say, well, maybe God just doesn't want me to have it.
Right.
Maybe it's just
so
not
hard. Maybe it's just not supposed to be. It's just not meant to be because it's so hard and people are against me and nobody likes me in this situation and yada, 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 yada. Yes.
But what I did not understand that I do now after 5 years of doing this professionally and after learning from incredible mentors and coaches and thousands of hours of education and just yumminess, and wisdom, right? Like this was 18 years later. Now I see what was going on. My problem, the reason that I couldn't get my goals and that I was so maxed out was that I had a capacity issue. Now, I love a good definition. So what do we even mean by capacity? Well, if you were to look at the definition, Webster would tell you that it's your it's your skills and your ability to produce. Okay, those are the two things. But that's not the only definition of capacity that I'm speaking to today. Your capacity has to do with your skills and your energy levels and the status of your personal kingdom, which is right around you. So let me draw you a visual here. So here you are. Your capacity is literally this space around you. So you kind of have like this energetic field. Ooh, that was a nice circle.
You know what? My circle looks like that sometimes too.
You too can be a presenter. I love
That's
it.
right.
Okay. So this is my current capacity. And inside of here, I have my skills. I have my energy levels. I also have, there's 4 areas in here. So over here, I have my mental capacity. I have emotional capacity. And I have physical capacity. And I have spiritual capacity. Now, those are not done equally, but you've got mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. Okay, and I don't love this drawing, so the beautiful thing is we can redraw here. So in those 4 areas, those are kind of your compartments or your types of capacity that are inside your bubble. And within those areas, we've got mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical. Okay, so now within these types of areas within my capacity, I have this bubble, and what I didn't understand was that my capacity was literally maxed out. So here I am, and here were my goals. And I just couldn't reach them. Now, again, just to review, what is not the problem is that I'm broken in here. That's not the problem at all. And in fact, let's look at what is true. What is true is that you, sis, are highly productive. You get stuff done all day long, every day. We just have value judgments about whether they count or not, or whether we'll acknowledge them or not. But the truth of the matter is, if you're a mom, you have children that are alive, that you've kept alive. If you're a spouse, you're still married. If you're a woman in business, you have a business and you're doing that in addition to all your interpersonal relationships. You probably have a mom, a dad, other family relationships that require time and effort. And then you got up, you brushed your teeth, you're alive, you drank some water, ate some food. See, all these things that we're accomplishing. Your skill set for your current space is your capacity. And so what happens is that when we want to expand into a new goal or want to accomplish a new thing, there's 3 areas of capacity that I want to address today. There's three main things about capacity. The first one is that we get to protect, or I'm going to actually say manage. We must learn how to manage our current capacity, because we already have a pretty darn big capacity. And what I'm learning is that my capacity is already in alignment with the goals that I want to get, or the experiences, the money, certain levels of money that I want to have right now, but I'm actually blocking them from coming in because my capacity, there's no room for it. There's no room for it. So we're going to talk about how do you manage your capacity. Then sometimes, because I am plugged up in my capacity, then I get to reclaim my capacity. And then finally, there are times when a goal that I'm going for is going to require that I expand, that my capacity, my volume, I get to learn new skills. There just may be some skills or some mindsets that I don't currently have, or some relationships that I'm missing that are required in order for me to get that next goal. So we're going to look at manage, reclaim, and expand. So let's talk about manage. How many things are you currently thinking about right now that you're trying not to forget? It could be an appointment. It could be a to-do item, something that you need to do. It could be something that you're worried about, a situation that you're trying to control. And so you're like, and it's in here all the time. That will consume your capacity. And that is happening in our mental capacity. And so there's some really amazing ways to start to unload and dump onto paper, onto your computer. That is a way that you can manage your mental capacity, your spiritual capacity. Sometimes we have experiences in our past where we've made a mistake, and we've determined that we're not a good person, or it's a sin, or it's we've offended God, or just something is wrong in there, because we're all human. We have these experiences for our learning, but we're holding on to it. And so in our spiritual capacity, we have stuff. So here, let me draw this girl again. Here's me. And here's my capacity. And what is happening is, in my mental, there's things that I'm worried about. And then I might have had some things some screw ups in my life where I fell short and I made a mistake. I said something hurtful. I used my voice in an unkind way. And then in my emotional, I've had experiences in my past where there was some really negative emotions, anger, fear, frustration, hatred, hurt, and all these different emotions show up. And then on the physical side, our physical capacity, maybe I'm running so hard that I'm not eating well, I'm not sleeping well. I may have some illness that is consuming my capacity. I may be physically hurt. And so there's these other areas. And so when we look at this situation and just these ideas of different types of capacity within us, can you see that where is the room? Where does that new goal, where did you go, green marker? Where does that new goal get to come in? And if I don't know how to manage what I currently already have, then this is what I'm talking about when this wants to come to me. I have the skill sets to have this. I have done so much good and added so much value to people that money wants to flow to me at increased increments, but I can't accept it or receive it. And I have all these conditions. That's another mental capacity parasite. Massive consumer of your mental capacity are conditions, rules that we live by that say you can't have that because you haven't worked hard enough for it, or you're not good enough.
Perfectionism.
Yes, it's not done exactly right, or it's not the right time. See, and all of these yummy things are trying to come to us and we are blocking it. How are we doing, Alicia? Does this make sense?
Oh, it's perfect. You're doing awesome. And yes, I love it. I love the visual.
Yeah. So when we go to what I would have you know is that you can manage. Now that you're aware of this, now we can step into consciously choosing to manage this. And part of a good manager is that we get to start doing things and stop doing things. And my number one tip for you today is to stop taking things personally. Stop taking things personally. When you aren't seeing this come to fruition for you, the old thought pattern for you is going to be all those value judgments. I invite you to stop that. That's what it means to take something personally, is it must be about me as a person. When actually what is needed is I got to just clear out some room in my container. You know, like our fridge, your fridge only has so much capacity. And if I want to add another gallon of milk to my fridge, I get to go investigate in my fridge what's moldy, what are become treasures in there that are like, no good. They're not
what
useful
gets
to
to
me
be
anymore.
cleaned up, right?
Yeah, what gets to be cleaned up. I also get to stop putting in things in there that don't matter. Shoes, purses, like things that, why would you ever put that in your shoe or your fridge? When you start to understand this, we begin to go, and after you start practicing, you go, why did I ever take that personally? That had nothing to do with me.
Right.
I'm not broken. I'm not dumb. I'm actually brilliant. And I'm very capable. And so when we stop taking things personally, we automatically protect, and no more of this stuff gets to come in here. Now there starts to be more room. We manage and protect that. Now the next piece is, how do we reclaim? So management would be like, we don't allow any more of that. Now we're going to go into step number 2 that I want to teach you today. It's to reclaim this space. That means we get to boot out and get rid of this stuff. And so reclaiming your current capacity, I want to teach you my favorite tool. The fastest way to start cleaning this up on the inside, making room in your personal fridge, is forgiveness. Now there's multiple tools that are important, but what I can offer you today in this time is my favorite tool, which is forgiveness. So if you're typing or writing or your hands are full at the moment, I want you to release your hands and make them free and do this activity with me, okay? So this is your takeaway. And you can do this anywhere, anytime. I want you to look at your hands from this point of your palm to the top of your fingertip, right down the side of your hand here. These represent all the major electrical system in your body, your meridian points, okay? Now you don't have to know or remember that, but I just want to explain for those of you who do understand that, what's happening is we're about to take action here, okay? So when I take this very sensitive part of my hand on both sides. Okay, here they are on this side. And I'm going to karate chop them together. See, I'm tapping. I'm going to tap here. Now, what's also cool is that I'm going to try to stay in the screen here and still stand up so you can see my hands. Okay, now as I'm pointing my hands this way and I'm still chopping, okay, I'm just tapping together. I just love it. My body's already responding to this yummy tapping. Okay, when I do this, I am sending a message to my entire system. It's like the PSA at high school when they're like, attention, attention, everyone. There is an announcement for you at school. Okay, that does that to every cell in your body. Every cell in your body is now going, what's gonna happen today? Okay, there's the tone that says, listen. Okay, so you take your hands and you chop like this, okay? And you repeat, and here's what we say. When you have something that is just eating at you, you screwed up, you made a mistake, you're feeling negative, there's emotions, there's just something that's bothering you. We want to get it up and out so it doesn't consume your capacity. So what you're going to do is you're going to tap and you're going to say with your words, even though, and then you fill in the blank and say what is wrong. Even though I messed up and said something horrible to my child this morning that I didn't mean to say, and it really hurt her feelings, okay? So I'm tapping as I'm talking, and I'm imagining all of that stuff coming up and out of my mouth and into the palm of my hand, okay? So I'm tapping, even though this is what happened, this is how I feel about it. Okay, then here's the next piece of the script. I love, accept, and forgive myself now. And then I also like to say, I love and accept and forgive myself, and I forgive myself and my child, because they were involved in the situation, right? I forgive myself and my child to my higher power now. And I take a big deep breath when I blow it all out right into my hands, and then I just lift it up and offer it to the sun. Just see the sun burning it up and taking it right out of my hands. Now you could look at it as your higher power taking it out of your hands, the mountains, whatever is your higher power is something that's bigger, more powerful than you. Will take that from you if you're willing to forgive it. So forgiving is a very powerful way to release, to let go. It's truly, actually what we really are doing is we're wanting to forgive it. Okay, so let's run through that again because I like to do this 3 times. Okay, so here we go. Get your hands together. You've got the situation in your mind that's not working, that's trying to consume your capacity, and you're gonna tap. Okay, even though this was the situation, this is the mistake I made. These are the emotions that I'm feeling and how I'm currently believing in. This is all the things. I love, accept, and forgive myself now. And I forgive myself and the other people involved to my higher power now. And then I offer it to my higher power. Is that so fun, yummy? It's powerful. And this tool can be used anywhere at any time. So if you're taking notes, I would invite you to write that down, even though maybe I can just do a quick screen share. Actually, I'm not gonna do a screen share. I'm just gonna, you can reach out to Alicia or me and we can send you more information on that. But even though, fill in the blank, we describe the situation, tapping your palms together, and then offer that. Allow your higher power to take that from you. This will help you. The more you can forgive and involve a higher power in that forgiveness process, the more you will create room for these awesome things. Instead of hanging out here, now there's room.
Can I add something to that as well, Mandy?
Yes.
So with my clients, when I teach them the same principle. However, sometimes the situation can be super heavy in energy and create even more blocks. I've had people get really tired and like they lose focus. And so instead of just tapping here, we go to here into their chest and then start tapping on the face. And what that does is it starts to move that energy and break it up so that we can breathe and move through that a little bit faster. So that's another thing that you can do as well.
Yeah, that's like a next level. So tapping is such a powerful way to free your capacity.
Powerful.
Now.
Yeah.
And as Alicia was talking, you can tap right here on your chest with both hands. There's so many
right here,
just Google,
on your cheeks, on your forehead. It's called EFT. Emotional freedom technique.
Tapping is so powerful, EFT. And you can Google more information about that and learn more about that. But if you take nothing away from today, but this right here,
you have massive movement. Yep.
Is getting the message that I'm forgiving this and we are letting it go. And it's being forgiven. Yes. Yay!
Love it.
I love it. Okay, let's talk about this last piece of expansion. And then we're going to open it up to questions for today. And I also want to share with you what the next step is. Like if you want to learn more tools, because these are just, I just wanted to present some simple, my favorite go-tos today. But if you would like more support and being able to do further work and put more tools into your tool bag, which sister, more powerful women have an expansive tool chest or bag, a luxury designer bag full of powerful tools. And so there are more tools available for you for this. Okay, so here you are. And here's my current capacity. And let's say that this next level of income is right here, or my next level of my relationship is where I want to be here, or here's that vacation. This can also be amounts of money. So let's say that this is $1, this is $10, this is $100, just for fun, okay? I am managing my capacity and that's super fun and cool. What I get to do now is the third piece about capacity, and that is I get to expand my capacity. It's not that I'm broken, that I'm not worthy, that God doesn't want me to have more of this. It's that I get to go learn the skill sets and create new relationships and expand my ability to do more or to receive more. And that requires expansion. If I'm always doing what I know to do, I'll keep getting what I've already got. Okay? The only way for me to get something new is to do something new, believe something new, meet someone new. So expanding your capacity does this. Instead of being here, my capacity as I learn and grow and do the things that expand capacity, then what happens is I go to this level. That's cool. That's cool. And that required some expansion. So again, it's not because of all those other things we're talking about. Sometimes what we're looking for requires us to expand. And then as we continue to expand, the next level expansion looks like this. And then so on and so forth. We just keep growing and expanding. And those actually are the women those are my ideal clients. People, the women who desire to go to the next step, who are ready to expand and just need to understand how to expand, that's where I specialize. How do you grow? So here's my favorite way to expand your capacity. Self-care. Now, I'm not just talking about manicures and pedicures. or bubble baths. And those are all very important. Okay, those have a place in self-care. The self-care that I want to introduce you to you today that will expand your capacity so quickly is to clean up. It's, remember, we start and stop doing. I'm inviting you to stop judging yourself. Stop judging yourself and start loving yourself more. Stop the judging, increase the loving. Judgment shrinks our capacity so fast. Negative self-talk in here shrinks our capacity so fast. It causes us to contract. And physically, the body language is as we curl in because it hurts. It hurts. Remember those value judgments? All of the things that I'm teaching you today are actually going to support expansion. When you don't take things personally, and when you choose to forgive, and then as you choose to increase your love for yourself, not only will you manage your capacity better, you'll clean out your capacity and reclaim your capacity, but you'll expand at the same time. Isn't that so cool? Who knew? Who knew these would all come together? But judgment causes us to hide, and it produces shame. And when we feel like that towards ourselves, we will contract. So in the absence of judgment, we get to, what that looks like is we accept, allow, receive. We have more compassion. I take better care of myself. I eat better. So there's a million different ways. Alicia, what are your favorite ways of self-care?
Oh, my favorite things of self-care is forgiving myself. Like, that's huge. And you know my history, but just to give you a little background, that was something that was not even a consideration for many, many years. Like, I did not get to forgive myself because I had the mindset of I was unworthy, I wasn't good enough, blah, 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 blah. And how could I forgive myself if I was all of these things? And I had proof in my life to prove to myself that I didn't measure up, because if I measured up, then I would be receiving personal revelation. If I measured up, I would be getting answers to my prayers. If I measured up, I would be successful. If I was measuring up, then I would be thin. I mean, my list was huge. And so that whole list proved to me that I wasn't worth being forgiven because I didn't measure up to all of those expectations or even those false belief systems. And so now for me, that is a non-negotiable. Like, forgiveness is, if I feel at any time I start to hear those negative thoughts or negative feelings, I know immediately that I have not stepped into my form of radical self-care, which is grace, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness for myself in any level that I may be experiencing at the time. So that's my favorite aspect of self-care. You know, there's a lot of other things, like, you know, I love to drink more water. If I'm feeling tired, I'll take a nap, you know. So there's lots of different levels of self-care, but that would be my number one go-to, would be like, love that, forgiveness.
Yeah. And it's just fascinating. Again, I'm gonna show these three to you right here. So number one, manage. Don't take anything, stop taking things personally. That'll help you from absorbing more parasites that are consuming your capacity. Two, reclaim your capacity by forgiving. Tap, tap, tap. I love, forgive, and accept myself. Mm-hmm. And the third one is to expand. You're going to do more self-care. And I just invite you to pick one thing today that you can do that's going to increase your self-care, to take care of you. You're so worth it. You're so fabulous. You are worth taking care of. And as you practice these three things, your capacity is going to expand. And it's not if these things are going to come to you, it's when. Mm-hmm. And not only will they come to you, but they'll stay.
Exactly. It becomes sustainable.
Yes, sustainable. It stays with you. So I would love to, I have a quick offer and then we have just a few minutes, I think, right, Alicia, for some questions.
Yep.
And I want to, if you require further support, because I do, remember, like one of the equations for successful women and people is a tribe around you and further understand. So sometimes what's missing for you to expand or to capture your capacity back to get that goal is you're just missing some skills and some practices and some understanding. And so I am offering a next class. I would love for you to join me at the next class. And that is going to take place next Wednesday, September 30th. So I'll write that down here. September 30th, 10 a.m., 10 to noon, Mountain Standard Time. Okay, September 30th. And in this workshop, we have 120 minutes of juicy, yummy time to look a little further at these different areas of your mental, physical, emotional, and your spiritual capacity. And what are some additional tools that will help you manage, reclaim, and expand your capacity so that you can have these things fall into line. It's so fun. You know you're in alignment with something when it just appears. It like just comes into your space. And you're like, oh, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And it has nothing to do with, again, our worthiness or me personally. It has everything to do with, what am I doing on the outside of me? What does my space look like? How do I feel about myself? Those are
thinking about.
What am I thinking about? What am I holding on to that's blocking? Okay. So Wednesday, September 30th, 10 to noon, this is a week from today. And a comparative price for this class out there is anywhere from $150 to $250 for a 2-hour, 120-minute workshop. My normal price for this class is around $100 for a 2-hour workshop. I just offered one a couple of months ago that was really fun, and this was the price range for that. But I just want you and your friend to come. And I care deeply about your ability to manage, reclaim, and expand your capacity. And so for those who register, as a thank you for watching this recording, if you're coming back, and for being here today, your price to attend this class is $17. Yay! Because I want it to be accessible to you.
Yes.
Hooray!
Yay!
So 17.
And you're not going to want to miss it. She is incredible in what she teaches, and it's life-changing and transformational. And I am a huge, huge witness to that. She has been my little conscience here over the last few years in a lot of different areas. So she is the one to go to. Definitely, definitely. Amanda is amazing. So you won't want to miss this.
So here's how you claim your spot. The first thing you're going to do, actually, let me go back here. I'm sharing the screen so you can see how to register for this class. Reach out to me on Messenger. You find me at Amanda Helm, and send me a message and tell me, hey, I want into the class. You can also at the same time, or it's not in tandem, like the next place is to claim your spot is to go to Venmo and send me your payment, which is you can find me at Amanda-Helm-2. My email is ahelm232@gmail. Here, my @ And what else is on there? So this is
you can reach out to me and I will forward you to Amanda too.
Yes. Reach out to Alicia, send me a message, tell me you want in. And then once I have your payment for the class, so payment again is only $17 to be part of this workshop next Wednesday. It will be recorded and available for up to a week afterwards. So if you can't be there in person, grab your spot so that you can have access to the recording, and then you can listen to it when it's convenient for you. Okay, so the payment is $17, and it is next Wednesday, September 30th, 10 to noon. I always have a hard time writing that. So 10 a.m. to noon.
And make sure that you can screenshot this so that you have the information right available to you. You don't have to go back and rewatch this again. So
yeah, grab a screen. Exactly. That's why I wanted to put it here so you could see it. Capture your screenshot. Be there. You can extend this offer to others that you know who are just needing some assistance and support and want to come play, because we're going to have a great time. And this is going to be so fun. So reach out to me on Messenger. Once I have your payment and I am able to get, connect to you on Messenger, then I will send you the registration link for you to get registered. It will be via Zoom, so you can be anywhere, and it will be a recorded Zoom. And then, like I said, you'll have access up to that recording for 7 days following the event. And that'll let you rewatch it as many times as you want. I ask that you don't share it to people who haven't registered, but please feel free to watch it yourself as many times as you want and at your own convenience. So I'm super excited for this event, and I hope you'll join me. And let's learn some more about how to manage, reclaim, and expand your capacity.
Woohoo! Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the screen back to Alicia, and we'll just open this right up for questions. Are there any questions?
Not right now, but I just want to voice my testimony on expanding capacity. I remember when I mentored with you, I don't know, probably about what, 2-3 years ago. And I was in a particular situation where I was struggling with my identity. I was struggling with my truth, and I could not, for the life of me, like, I wanted to move forward. You know how you were talking, like, I want to go fast. I want to move forward. I want to do this right now. And yeah, I kept hitting right into a wall, and I would fall into the trenches, and I would be like, okay, Amanda, I need triage. Like, I need help. What's wrong with me? And that was my languaging a lot, was what's wrong with me? Why can't I figure this out? And I remember having a conversation with you where you're like, why do you feel like you have to know how to do it? And it's like, well, I should know how to do it. How come? Why do you feel like you should, or that you have to know this when you don't know this? Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
And I was like, well, because it's always been like that. And it's interesting because over the years, I've thought back on that conversation and realized that when that languaging shows up, it's because my capacity is shrunk. And it's because I have a belief system that isn't allowing me to not only forgive, but to expand my capacity or even do self-care, because I have a belief system or an expectation or condition that I'm holding myself to that is keeping me from being able to experience those goals and those dreams and be able to just experience freedom, right? Freedom from the trauma and the drama that's going on inside of our heads all the time. And
well, I just want to interject quickly. The key was the question you first asked. You kept asking me, what's wrong with me?
Yes, exactly. And
my response to you at that time was, what if there's nothing wrong with you?
Exactly.
What if you just need some expansion and some new skills and some new ideas and some new beliefs that will bring you into alignment with what you want? Because you were here wanting to get here, and because you were missing just those keys. You were like, what's wrong with me? And it was such a joy that day to say, there's nothing wrong with you.
Right, because I was taking everything that was going on in my life personally. Like, I was making it all about me. And it was incredible when you were teaching me about how to do self-care. And you said something to the effect, I don't know if the exact languaging, but I remember you saying something to the effect of, at the capacity that you love yourself is the capacity that you can love others. The capacity that you can see yourself succeeding is the capacity that you see others succeeding. And I was just like that was so mind-blowing to me, because I hadn't considered that I just get to change my perspective. And not only change my perspective, but gain the tools that are required to forgive and let go and choose into allowing myself to expand. So when I share these things, I just want you to know that she knows what she's talking about, totally and completely. And I just love her. I just love everything about Amanda. She's just an amazing, she's like my sister from another mother, right? She's, and you know, I've loved the fact that she has taught me over the years on how to expand further and further and further. And she's an expert at it. She is the master in understanding how to make that work in your life. So I just want to let you know what you're talking about.
Everybody needs Alicia Medlin in their life. Okay. And because I just want to put her in my little purse and take her home with me. I'm taking all this yumminess that she's pouring out, and I'm putting it right in my heart and saying, thank you. I receive that. And I just want to say again, Alicia, I'm so grateful you're part of my tribe and that I'm part of your tribe. And to everyone watching, come be a part of our tribe. Yes. You deserve to have, retire your lone wolf trophy. I used to have one. I shined it up every day.
Me too.
I carried it around with me, thinking I can do it myself.
This on my own.
Figure it out.
Yes.
And you know what? I have learned that is one of the greatest treasures in my life that has helped me expand my capacity, is to allow myself a tribe. And Alicia, I'm just so grateful you're in my tribe. And thank you for having me today. What a pleasure to be here.
So welcome, and I can't wait to have you on again. And if you are rewatching this and you do have questions, or maybe you have a comment, please, 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 please reach out. Let us know. We would love to answer those questions, whether it's with me. If I don't know the answer, I will forward you to Amanda, and vice versa. So we just want, our desire and our intention is to serve you, to inspire you, to empower you, to live, and not only live, but live with intention, and learn how to step into the truth of who you are, because you weren't here to play small. None of us were put on this earth to play small, and we all need help on how to play big and how to step into that arena and do it with weaponized, right? We're weaponized. We've got those tools. We got those foundational needs and abilities. So
on that note, Alicia, I just want also everybody to know that if this class doesn't fit for you, there's other topics of transformation that you want to discuss, please reach out to me via messenger, or just find me, follow me. I'm always adding things and creating new events. I'm also a presenter and a speaker. And if you have a group that you would love to have some phenomenal presenting, I would love to come and team up with you on delivering that message and moving others to action. So if that's training your group and helping them understand how to expand their capacity, or any other topic that is important to you, please reach out. I also mentor people. I curate experiences, one-on-one experiences. So if a class setting isn't for you and you just want my full attention on you and how to help you get from point A to point B faster, I specialize in that. And then I also offer other group settings where you can come in and learn, again, developing that yummy tribe we're talking about. So let's team up and follow Alicia Medlin. For anybody who isn't, that's joining in here from my group, get on the train, the Alicia train, baby. It's going places.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And again, thank you all for joining us. And please reach out if you have questions. And you guys have a fantastic Wednesday. We will talk to you soon.
Thanks, Alicia.
You're welcome.